Greetings and what's the deal, boys and girls? It's your boy Professor G, Mark Gray. It's OG Sports Rap on Substack and the network. That's right, Sports Rap Network. Invite you to check me out Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 East Coast time and from 6 to 8 out west. Those of you in the middle of the country, I love you, but you're kind of on your own in terms of what time you get the program. But I will tell you this, if you tune in to Tuesday night's State of the Union address, guess who you will not see? The USA women's soccer team. And in such class and professionalism with so much dignity, they promptly turned down an invitation from the president to attend his State of the Union address. Just think about that for a second. Now, it would be an honor for most people to be brought to Capitol Hill. Hell, speaking of House, Mike Johnson wouldn't even let Jesse Jackson lie in state. But the class of the women endured. That's right. Now, again, here's the deal. Um, there were some logistics that played a role in this decision. Many of the women were not scheduled to arrive in North America until uh, yesterday evening, but up and down the East Coast, we've been hit by another band of unbelievable storms. So the women were well within their right to use scheduling as a reason for their inability to basically uh, sit in front of a chauvinist, a guy who has no respect for women, especially young ladies. And I just think, once again, women have done it again in a class fashion by making a statement without even making a statement. That's absolutely unbelievable that after some of the misogynistic stuff that went on, and again, we talked yesterday about Cash Patel going to the I believe it was Milano. That's where the hockey venue was, and spent $75,000 of taxpayers' money, and then was able to find his way into the locker room, where he then called the commander in thief. And once he called, it just turned out to be a series of straight up uh misogynistic statements that have come to define this guy when he gets on. I don't even understand why he would take shots at the young ladies like he did. I mean, it's just it's crazy. Now, the joke during the call was um that he had to. This is what I mean. You say this to a bunch of dudes who are celebrating. You got a dude who I got to question his citizenship, that's in charge of the FBI, coming out, and it's just crazy how these dudes who are supposed to be in control of the country are running it like they come straight from Animal House. Those of you from a certain age remember Animal House, the movie, or better yet, the books. It was the consummate drunk beer, stupid acting, dopey dudes, you know, and just championing the cause of misogyny. I'm just saying, look, and everybody, and I just love you trolls. All right, you make my day. All right, and let me give you some trollish behavior because you're working with something like this. The joke that he had to quote invite them, or else he would probably be impeached. Now, while it was met with laughter, again, remember, highly charged, testosterone based, red blooded American dudes in their moment. And this was supposed to be their moment. They could have kept that stuff. That stuff should have never. Well, first off, you just don't do that when you got a member of the cabinet and TV cameras around. And again, that is just disrespectful. Now, I will say this: the people who are a part of the USA women's hockey program, they did one hell of a job derailing a situation with tact and grace. I wish the Animal House administration that we have right now would do the same. Now, a spokesperson for USA Hockey announced the women would not attend, saying that they, quote, are sincerely grateful for the invitation, but unable to participate due to previously scheduled academic and professional comments. Yeah, a lot of these ladies are coming back to go to work, not federal employees, because we all know that if you're a woman, no matter what color you are, you were working for the federal government, these frat boys from Animal House will come in and, take your property, take your career. He just has to get in and just throw shade. That's I mean, it's one thing to throw shade at other politicians, people whom you don't like, but to shame the women? I mean, dude, let's be real for a second. What is your problem with women? There's something beneath the surface there. Did mommy not love you right? Did you not lay on her bosom enough? Did she turn her back on you? Did she let somebody abuse you? What is going on here? Because no man who's the leader, supposedly, of the free world comes out of his face to disrespect women when they have brought tremendous success and glory to a nation that is in crisis. I mean, Pop, are you tone deaf? Really? And then you got your little grifting kid out there who's trying to chase off the prospects of him being prosecuted by prosecuting athletes or former athletes, whether it's Chauncey Billups, a Hall of Famer from NBA fame, or whether you're Tony Clark, the once Major League Baseball Players Association president, the guy who brokered all the deals. But I gotta admit, man, that phone call with the men's team threw unnecessary shade on American women. And I'm not gonna condone the shade that he put out there on Hunter Hess when he said just because you wear the colors don't mean that you agree with what's going on there. That's supposed to be one of the virtues of being American. It's going on around me. You guys have the freedom and the right to, participate in it. I'm just not down with that. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. It's disrespectful, and I'm like, all right, have the voices of women been muted by this misogyny that continues to be condoned in the White House? This is when you make statements like that as the leader of the country or the leader of the free world, and you think that that's dignity, and you're a misogynist. What's the story here? What's behind that? I mean, you just look at the behavior. You slur women. You've obviously been associated with people who like the young girls. Heck, your press secretary met her husband. Was she 15 or something? He's like 80. I mean, come on, really? I just don't get the fascination with this. And I guess this is me as a girl dad. Okay. Yes, I have a child, and I gives a damn. Somebody, hey, there may be one thing on this planet that you go down for, and that's your child. And I'm thinking to myself, given that all these ladies come from various parts of the world, they all have uh, contributed mightily to the success of a new generation of women, only for Orange Gas Bag to come along shading you after a wonderful moment in American history. It was glory. There were so many reasons to reward these women with compliments, and yet you're going to take a slur. A slur. You're going to slur a champion because they're women. Now, again, I'm not taking anything away from the dudes. The dudes earn their party, but USA Hockey, gender aside, is a umbrella organization. I'm pretty sure you would not hear the truth from any of the American players on the men's side after they heard that remark. Now, again, they're drinking champagne, they're acting a fool. I've been in those locker rooms before. I know what's going on. In a moment of euphoria, it wasn't a thing. Now, it'll be interesting to see how many USA men's hockey players are on Capitol Hill for the State of the Union address because the NHL opens the season on Wednesday. And when you consider the length of the flight to Italy and reacclimating yourself to the time zone, you probably got to get a skate in just to loosen up your legs after all that. I'm not quite sure that makes a lot of sense. I really don't. And I don't think it would be a disrespectful statement if none of the players showed up because they got their jobs to worry about. But when does America start taking more offense to the despicable behavior towards women? I mean, let's be real for a second. We saw what happened in Minneapolis. You shoot a woman in her face? Come on, y'all. Now you got the president, just slurring, and you can call it a joke. And, it's funny. Destructive verbiage from older white dudes that they think is funny. If you don't think it's funny, then you too sensitive. But if people of color didn't comport themselves in such a fashion, there'd be a lot of times when y'all slur people that you wouldn't get a second shot at. All right. So I don't see what being an old, crotchety, powerful man. You've stolen nearly $100 billion for your family's future. And hell, you ain't even been in office for a year. Now you get your first State of the Union as a president, and you start off by slurring women who brought the nation shine. I'm. Where's the hate? Where does your hate come from? 47. Why do you hate women so? You clearly don't like women. Is there some kind of deep-seated personal thing about you? I mean, do you have another side that involves, cross-dressing? Because I find when people hate something so much, and it's clear, number one, 47 has never respected women. And probably he didn't have to because he's a billionaire. When is enough enough? Okay. When do the Megyn Kellys of the world call out the president for stuff like that? And that's one thing for you to take a race card situation, but these were ladies who did their job primarily white and get slurred like that with the FBI director in the room. Where you at, Megan? Where you at? Huh? You obviously ain't keeping up with your husband who's checking out Don Lemon, according to him. When you gonna step up for the women? Okay? Where the Laura Ingrahams? You know, telling basketball players after George Floyd to shut up and dribble. Why don't you open up and support women like you? But you know something? That's not my fight. It's not. I'm not. But because I got a little sister on that team, it's personal to me. All right. And I think it's crude and disrespectful, no matter what your power is. Just because you can be an ass, don't mean you gotta act like one. Why can't you be classy in celebration? But then again, you can't spell class without the ass. Don't forget, it's OG Sports Rap on the network. Download the mobile app, sportsrapnetwork.com. Follow me and tell about 50,000, 500,000, your close personal friends. Download the mobile app because that's all we got.